I'm Theo Bach, and my research study is on how common detergents in the water affect the growth and state of land plants. So first, some background information. Plants have been existing on Earth for more than 500 million years and have a huge impact on the ecosystems they survive in. Plants have made it possible for many other life forms to be able to survive and are an endless food source for many organisms. Plants are also a supply of oxygen and have created habitats for many forms of life. In order for plants to continue to keep producing oxygen and being a food source for animals and other organisms, they must not be exposed to harmful chemicals or toxins that could potentially kill or disable them from going through with their unique bodily functions such as photosynthesis. The environment and life we know today would quickly fall to extinction if plants were removed from our lives. Detergents, on the other hand, are cleaning agents, usually consisting of synthetic chemicals, but unlike soap, they are made of fats and oils. Detergents are used in everyday life in washing dishes, clothes, household cleaning supplies, stuff like that. Detergents are also used in industry to wash off impurities and other chemicals that come across in the production process. Some of these detergents contain very strong chemicals and are very hazardous to anyone who uses them. Unfortunately, many of these detergents are not disposed of properly and are disposed in nearby bodies of water. These detergents have very negative effects on the environment and the ecosystems that live there. These negative effects spread further and further as not only the animals see that water as their home, but other animals and organisms use that as their source of water. So the effect just continues to spread and continue until soon it'll come full back circle to us. And not a lot has been done to prevent the disposal of hazardous chemicals, and if it continues, it will soon have irreversible effects. Some previous studies have been done on this topic, and one of these studies was the toxicity assessment of a common laundry detergent using freshwater flagellate Euglena gracilis. This study was a toxicity evaluation of a commonly used laundry detergent, Ariel, and using the freshwater Euglena gracilis as a test subject. The experiment was performed by adding different solutions, each made with deionized water, to cultures of Euglena gracilis that were obtained from a local algae culture collection. The cultures were examined at 0, 6, 24, and 72 hours for photosynthesis, growth, motility, swimming velocity, and other characteristics. And the result of the experiment showed that motility, cell shape, growth, swimming velocity, and light harvesting pigments all were affected significantly immediately after being exposed to the detergent, and that photosynthesis was significantly affected after prolonged exposure. And the experimenters also found that recovery is possible for all of these plants that were exposed. Another study that is related to this topic is the effect of detergent on the response to temperature and the growth of grass carp. And effects of the detergent on the response to temperature and the growth of grass carp. This study was over how detergent affects the response to temperature and the growth of grass carp. The experiment was performed by placing grass carp in a glass aquarium with a density of about 10 fish per 30 milliliters, or 30 liters. The water in the tank had about 136 to 139 milligrams per liter of calcium chlorate, which is a common chemical used in detergents. The fish were continuously monitored for their response to the temperature increase of 1 degree Celsius per day and for their growth. And the experimenters found that the exposure to the detergent reduced the growth and temperature of the fish by 50%, yet none of the fish were killed. One more study on the topic is the toxicity of linear alkali benzene sulfonate on some aquatic plants. And this study was of the unique effects of different concentrations of linear alkali benzene sulfate on various aquatic plants. The aquatic plants were collected from their nearby natural habitat and placed in a freshwater environment. Once acclimated, LAS, which is again another chemical commonly used in detergents, was added to in concentrations of 0.003, 0.005, 0.01, 0.05, and 0.1%. Plants were harvested after 48 hours and examined for chlorophyll, growth, and protein content. The experimenters found that the plants suffered a large loss in chlorophyll, and the detergent was inhibitory to the tissue growth of the plants. From these studies, it is known that detergents have negative effects on some eukaryotes, fish, and aquatic plants, and they also know the extent of these effects. What I hope to find is that what the effects of detergent are on land plants and their growth and well-being. The research question I am pursuing is, how do common detergents in water affect the growth and state of land plants? My hypothesis for this research question is, if detergents are present in the water that is absorbed by the plants will have significant decreases in growth, chlorophyll, and photosynthesis. The procedure by which I plan to do this experiment is I will use the common detergent Tide and then dilute that into 8 solutions of different strengths. The solutions will be 0.01, 0.1, 1, 10, 25, 50, 75, and 100%. Each of these solutions will be then used to water 1 potted daisy seed, or Abellis perennius. The control will be a potted seed that is watered with water that has no detergent mixed in. The seeds will then grow and develop, and their growth will be monitored. They will be observed over the course of 30 days, and after 30 days the 9 plants will be then analyzed for growth and development and measured for photosynthesis and chlorophyll, and used to determine if we also determine if the detergent, how much it negatively affected the plants and at what potency these effects began to appear. So thank you for your attention. Hopefully you guys stay tuned. My study tends to be, hopefully the data's out in a month and a half, no trouble. But are there any questions? No? Alright, well thanks again for your attention.